Not me.
Mother man, jeez. What's going on, people, and welcome back to my channel. I go by the name of Mr. Midas. Now, you could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you are with me, and as you can tell, I am excited because it is finally out. Yes, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this game has been so hyped for so long, and it's crazy. In a year where Final Fantasy VII Remake and The Last of Us 2 came out, I can't believe how excited I am and the rest of the world are for this game. Now, I am a big fan of The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, and CD Projekt Red's work, so I was super gassed to get my hands on Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this was provided to me by CD Projekt Red, but I also bought a copy myself because I wasn't sure if I was going to get it on time, so I'm going to be 100 and let you know my thoughts. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. I'm working to that 1K, and hit that notification bell. Don't let the YouTube algorithm bully you, fam. I am a RPG specialist. I love role-playing games, and for them to mix role-playing and first-person shooting for the first time, this was a big step for CD Projekt Red. So I'm going to give you my honest feedback, what I think about the game so far. Now, I've been keeping tracks of Cyberpunk 2077 when it was first announced, being a big fan of CD Projekt Red and the Witcher series. I was really excited to see what they was gonna get into next. Now, the whole futuristic cyberpunk era is super exciting to me, and just like everyone, I've been really patient waiting for this game to come out. And to be honest with you, it's really thrown me. Like, I'm only played my first 24 hours of the game so far, but I was expecting this game to be a lot more shooter-esque than it is. But you know what? The core of this game is an RPG, and I'm a big RPG guy, so I'll explain why. Now, initially, I loved the custom creator. I love when you're able to create a character and really get into the nitty-gritty of how the character looks, all of their styles, their hair color, and Cyberpunk 2077 does this really incredible, and it goes far beyond what you would expect in most games where you're able to change your genitals and things like that. Obviously, I weren't getting into all of that, but it's super dope. Now, one thing that really disappointed me is there wasn't that much hair selection for black men. I didn't really see anything other than, like, I had to end up having braids, car. I couldn't really see anything else that would suit me other than a bald head or braids. So I think that's something they definitely need to kind of fix up on. And I think it would have been cool to have a few more tattoos, but yeah, it was a really cool custom selection. So then you choose what kind of path you're going to play as in the game, and obviously I chose the street kid, innit? Man, I have to represent for the ends and Amandem, which takes you straight into a bar and you get straight into the action, which was pretty cool. But the game starts off really slow, and I wasn't really expecting that. Like, I am a RPG guy, and sometimes in RPGs, you have to get through the first hour or so to really kind of get your teeth into the story. So yeah, that kind of threw me. I was expecting it to be a lot more action based at the start, and I think people who are not used to RPGs and not used to that kind of slower burn, that might throw them a bit. But for me, it was fine because, like I said, like that's normality in the games that I play. You got quite a cool tutorial, which is all done in a VR thing. What is with these games? Everyone's doing this virtual reality thing now, and I'll keep it 100. Like, some was a bit confusing. Like, I got a bit baffled in terms of some of the hacking and stuff like that. Now, as soon as you link up with your Cody man like Jackie, that's when the game really starts opening up. You got a super cool montage, which is really dope, and I love the way they do it. So it kind of brings you from when you first met to where your experiences are together, and that works really well. And that's when you first kind of get into the action of the game. Now, I love third-person adventures way more than I do shooters, and so far the shooting is okay. Like, there's nothing about it that stood out to me, but I am pretty early on in the game, and I feel like you probably have to unlock more things to really get out of it. But some of the enemies did feel pretty spongy. Like, it felt like I was shooting them a lot of times, and I couldn't really tell why they weren't going down or if they were going down. I love Jackie's interactions with V. Like, it's just, you can tell he's gonna be the character that's got all of the bants, and the way they kind of interact is pretty dope so far. One thing that kind of really struck me, and this isn't really a fault of the game, but because I'm now playing on next gen PlayStation 5, I feel like I'm really used to the look of the PlayStation 5, and what people need to realize is this is a last gen game, so it's a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One X game, so you're not gonna see the same high fidelity that you saw on like PlayStation 5 games. And I think the PC owners on Cyberpunk 2077 are winning right now. PC always wins as long as you got the right specs, but I feel like they're probably winning the most because it didn't look as crisp as the previews that I've actually seen, and I'm really excited for when they do this update for the next gen, for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, which is going to be a free upgrade. I'm really excited to see what the world looks like then. The world is so cool. Like, Night City just seems like a madness, fam. It seems like just such a mad place where anything can happen. Like I said, the story's pretty slow, but things jump in like out of nowhere really quickly, and it shows you how much of a hostile environment Night City really is, where anything can just pop off at any time, my G. And like, to everyone that's normal, people don't really see it as weird because that's just the life of Night City. The game's voiced very well, like great voice actors. So yeah, man, I'm enjoying my time so far. But like I said, like, I'm very surprised how RPG-esque it is, and it hasn't been as action-packed from the start as I was expecting. But I'm really excited to get hands-on on way more, because this is a huge game, fam. I'm literally just touching the surface of this game. Like, I'm not even really in the depths. Like, people who did demos had like 14 hours to play on a demo, so I can see why it's a bit of a slower game, and that's dope. That's cool. I'll just take my pace at it. But yeah, man, that is my first 24 hours with Cyberpunk 2077 so far. I want to know if you've got the game, and if you've got the game, what are you playing it on? PlayStation, Xbox, or PC? And are you waiting for the next gen upgrade before you're going to play it? So you're going to wait for next year. Make sure you like up the thing. Make sure you like the video and tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't worry, there's going to be so much more Cyberpunk 2077 content on the page, because I am an RPG specialist, my guy. So I got to give you that RPG info. Peace.